students. Today we will study about our chapter Natural Resources. So let us start. The resources which are present on our earth provided to us by nature are termed as natural resources. It includes air, water, soil, living organisms and minerals. Now talking about the natural resources, before that we should be aware about the layers of or the spheres of our earth. There are three spheres that are atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. The outermost earth crust where we live is lithosphere, that is a land portion. The water on the earth is hydrosphere, and the layer of air around the earth is atmosphere. The living organisms are found in all these layers and they interact with each other. This is termed as a biosphere. You are able to see here the Venn diagram showing atmosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere. Here you are able to see the Venn diagram showing atmosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere. Collectively, they are the part of a biosphere. They will form biosphere. Now next we have air or atmosphere. The air is a mixture of gases including carbon dioxide, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, water vapors and all other gases. During respiration, the living organisms utilize oxygen to break down their food. They need oxygen for the oxidation of their food to get energy for various activities. It results in the formation of carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide can also be released by the burning of fuels. During photosynthesis, the green plants utilize carbon dioxide to make glucose and oxygen in the presence of sunlight. It results in the release of oxygen that is again utilized by the living organisms or the animals. Now these processes helps to maintain oxygen carbon dioxide balance in the nature. Next we have the role of atmosphere in the climatic control. The atmosphere acts as a blanket. It covers the earth like a blanket. It is a mixture of gases, and air is a bad conductor of heat. It prevents the sudden increase in temperature during the day and also slows down the escape of heat during the night. So, atmosphere keeps the average temperature of earth steady during the day and throughout the year. Now, what causes winds? When air gets heated up, it rises up and produces low pressure, and cool air moves in to take its place. Now, the movement of air causes winds. During the day, the land gets heated faster than the sea. So, the hot air above the land rises up, and cool air from the sea moves towards the land. But during the night, the sea cools down slowly than the land. So the hot air from above the sea rises up and it blows from land towards the sea. This is termed as a land breeze and sea breeze. Rain. When water bodies are heated up during the day, a large amount of water evaporates and forms vapor. Some of the water vapor get into the atmosphere via various processes, that is transpiration that takes place in plant, that is a loss of water from the surface of leaves. As the water vapor rises, it cools and condenses to form tiny droplets of water. Now these droplets condense to form clouds and they fall down on earth as rain, snow and hail. There are certain human activities or the consequences, we can say, of the human activities that results in air pollution. The increase in the content of harmful gases or the substances in the air, or we can say the change in the physical chemical undesirable change in the physical chemical and the biological properties of air is termed as a air pollution. Burning of fossil fuels like coal and petroleum produces nitrogen, sulfur. When these fuels are burned, it releases oxides of nitrogen and sulfur. These oxides dissolve in rain and forms acid rain. Burning of fossil fuels also release unburned carbon particles. During cold weather, along with condensed water, it forms smog. Here, you are able to see smog in Beijing and smog in Los Angeles. Regular breathing air containing harmful substances may lead to allergies, cancer, heart disease, bronchitis, and various other respiratory disorders like asthma. Water. Water is also a natural resource. It is a universal solvent. A very large area of our earth is covered with water. Water is found inside the earth and in the atmosphere in the form of vapors also. The water that is found in the sea and the ocean is saline or salty, but the water in rivers, lakes, and ponds is fresh water. And the ice and snow at poles and in mountains, it is also there in the form of ice and snow. As you know, water is required by all the living organisms for all life processes and cellular activities. So it is necessary natural resource or component of the living organisms to survive. The amount of water and other factors like temperature and nature of soil decides the availability of the various species or the number of individuals of particular species residing in a area. Water pollution. The undesirable change or the increase in the content of harmful substances in water is termed as a water pollution. Now, water pollution is caused by the addition of harmful substances like fertilizers, pesticides from farms, sewage from the towns, cities, factories, and harmful chemicals from the factories. They all contribute to the water pollution. They change the physical, chemical, and biological properties of water. Now comes to the natural resource that is a soil. Soil is a uppermost layer of the earth. Soil is formed by breaking down of rocks, or we can say weathering of rocks, by various physical, chemical, and biological processes. The sun heats up the rock during the day, leading to the expansion of the rock at the night, and again, rock cools down and contracts. This results in cracking of rocks and breakdown of rocks into smaller pieces. Sometimes water enter into the cracks in the rocks, and when water frees there, it expands and causes the cracks in the rocks. It widens the rocks and breakdown of rocks take into smaller pieces takes place. The flowing water also breaks the rocks. When the broken pieces rub against each other, they become smaller and smaller. Sometimes some other factors like strong winds also breaks down the rocks. Living organisms like the roots of the large trees make cracks and breaks it into smaller pieces. Organism like lichen, that is a symbiotic association of algae and fungi, which grows on rock, also produces some substance, chemical substance, that cause the rock to powder and become soil. Now, what is the composition of soil? Soil is a mixture of rock particles, decaying organisms containing called humus, living organisms, mineral, air, and water. It contains amount of minerals, humus, air, and water. The various factors decide the biodiversity in that particular area. Any undesirable change in the physical, chemical, and biological properties of soil, or the addition of harmful substance which affects the proper fertility of the soil and kills the diversity of organism living in it, is termed as a soil pollution. Soil pollution is caused by the excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides. It kills the organism like earthworm and bacteria, which makes the soil rich in humus. The removal of the top fertile soil is termed as a soil erosion. The carrying away of soil from one place to other by flowing air, wind is called soil pollution or soil erosion. Large scale deforestation or the cutting of trees can also result in soil pollution, soil erosion. Soil erosion can be reduced or prevented by vegetative coverage of ground or the land with the crops, afforestation, construction of bunds, terraces, terrace forming, and dams. Now here activity is given to understand this, that effect of flowing water on the topsoil. We have two trays. Take two trays of same size, fill them with soil, plant mustard and green gram in one of the tray. Water both the trays a few days till the first tray is covered by the plant growth. The tilt both the tray till the trays at angle. Pour equal amount of water gently on both the trays. More soil is carried away, which didn't have the plant growth. This shows that the vegetative cover reduces soil erosion. So here you have an activity to understand the concept or the effect by which the soil erosion can be prevented, by the way by which soil erosion can be prevented. Thank you, students.